You can create change. You can be an activist. I'm sure you've all heard these words before, but if you're anything like me, you quickly forgot them. Because change is something abstract, something so adult-like that it seems impossible for us kids. But our generation is uniquely able to cause change. I want to tell you a little story of mine. So earlier this year, I was able to write a bill for a local congressional debate tournament. In Congress, we debate a specific piece of legislation, see its pros and cons, and determine whether or not it should go into law. So, when presented with this opportunity, my friend and I did the very same thing many of us would do. We Googled it. Specifically, we Googled problems in Illinois, and scrolling past the issues of gun safety and climate change, we stumbled on something that, quite frankly, I didn't even know was an issue: juvenile justice. And with a little bit of research and some talking later, we came up with a bill. This one. Now these 148 words might not look like much, but they say so much more. Because for a couple of weeks before the tournament, hundreds of debaters from IMSA, Naperville, and even Buffalo Grove researched it and the background around it. They learned that African Americans make up a disproportionate amount of the youth prison population. They learned that solitary confinement was used for up to 13 hours on teenagers. And they learned that 2 years after release, over 87% of the youth were rearrested. And now, you have too. But at this point, you're probably wondering, that's a great story, or at least I hope you are. But what does that have to do with causing change? And to answer that question, we need to take a step forward and talk about what happened after the tournament. Because after the tournament, as we were about to leave, someone came up to me. Someone I didn't even know. They introduced themselves, talked about who they were, and how they never even knew juvenile justice was a problem in the first place. They then said they were interested. So interested, in fact, that they wanted to share with their friends. At the time, I didn't really think much of this. I was too tired after 6 hours of debate and promptly fell asleep when I got home. But the day after, I realized something. I created change. Because when this person talks to their friends, and their friends talk to their friends, that's step by step, that's how change happens. To be clear, this isn't some national movement. This is one bill, one day, and one person. But this, in essence, is how our generation creates change. Because we have tools like social media, which makes it so much easier to create change compared to any other time. Because telling someone about something you're passionate about is as easy as texting them. Change isn't something exclusive to adults. It's something that's available and accessible to everyone. I want to change one person at a time, and you can too. Because when more people, more kids see change this way, the change that we want to see in the world turns from fantasy into reality. Thank you.